All right, so this section is building your presence on social media. It's really important as a real estate agent in today's day to really put yourself out there. I know this is an entire full-time extra job that you have to do, but it is what it is, and it is something that you do need to do. You will fall behind if you don't do this, so start getting out there. I still to this day, I'm not comfortable with like live videos on Facebook or Instagram. I'm not. It is what it is, but I'm working on it. But the point is that I'm out there, whether it's just a regular post or a story or an IGTV video, what we're doing right now, like just get out there, because no, you're going to be a ghost if you don't, because other agents are doing that. And it's like 1 out of every 3 people know an agent.
Something like that.
Something like that. Like it's like 1 out of every 3 people know an agent.
There's like 25,000 here in San Diego, so.
So get out there, and like, even if you don't have a listing when you first start, I was posting my team's listings. Like, it doesn't have to have your actual name on it, or even just your company. There's hundreds of homes that your company has, I'm sure, and just post those. You know, even if it's not yours and you do an open house for it, post that you're doing an open house there. You're not saying that it's your listing. You're just telling people you're going to be at an open house. Here's the address. Here's the price. Let me know if you have any questions. Like, it's very simple, and there's always content out there. Educating the public is huge. People love knowledge. So building your Instagram presence, Facebook presence, whatever it may be, make sure that you're giving value first before you ask for business. That's a lot of people's mistakes that I see online, especially. Don't do that. Don't ask for the business unless you've given some back first. So whether it's educating them on the process, whether it's educating them on situations that you've gone through, whatever it may be, just make sure that you're making yourself valuable, providing them value, and that way they're going to be able to trust and respect you, and then you can ask for business. So when you're first starting, just start throwing pictures out there, like, I'm doing an open house at, in North Park or whatever. The house is this, it's crazy. Like, the market is doing this here. Average days on the market is this. Like, let them know, because they're on their day-to-day basis doing who knows what that has nothing to do with real estate. You are in real estate, so your brain and everything is all on real estate, and you don't really realize how much stuff they don't know. Even you being in it for 1 week, you already know way more than the average person does in 1 week. So just remember that, and don't oversee the little things, especially if you're new. It's kind of harder to oversee the little things, so take advantage of that. Like, that's how I started building up my presence, and I ended up closing a good amount of deals off of Instagram alone, and that was actually a younger crowd, so I can't even imagine what I would have done if I would have targeted Facebook. Facebook is obviously a little bit of an older crowd, so I highly recommend to kind of put the emphasis on Facebook versus Instagram. We just love Instagram, so I'm on there because I genuinely love it, but I should be on Facebook a little bit more. But overall, just building up your presence is huge. Videos, as you guys know, are everything right now, way more than pictures, and now audio is like making a comeback. Like, get out there, do a podcast if you have to, like the struggles of a new agent, make it funny, whatever it may be, but just really put yourself out there, because like I said, no one's going to know that you exist if you're not on social media, unfortunately. Word of mouth is great, but it's a shortcut if you do social media.
Yeah, so I think for me, social media has been probably the area that I've lacked in the most, just because it's kind of challenging for me, but some people love it. So they just, like, Paulina, I know, really likes Instagram, so she does really well at it. So I think one of the biggest things for me is just, like, not bombarding your audience with the same thing over and over and over again. So what we've learned is to try to do, like, the 80-20 rule. So keep 20% of your profile like business, like just sold, just listed, things like that. Because if you just keep posting that stuff, people are going to get bored and tired of your content. So I would like to try to change it up. And people want to work with you because of who you are. So you want to get them to like you as a person before they're going to even consider working with you. So post a lot of stuff about, like, your personal life too. Like, if you have any hobbies, or you like to go to work out, or you have a family, you have some dogs, or whatever you like to do, post about it, because people want to get to know you and who you are, as and that's why they're going to want to work with you. It's not because you're selling a bunch of homes every month, but they're just going to like who you are as a person. So
Yeah. And you honestly attract your tribe. So the more you put out there, whether it's like, for example, me, I love soccer, I love healthy eating. So I'm like obviously posting like cool restaurants that I like to go to. Like you'll attract that type of clientele. And that's kind of like the people that I've been engaging with the most is like people who like similar things. And it makes the whole process so much better. Obviously, when you start, you might not have that because you're just going to take whatever you get. But as your career goes on, you're going to attract people that love the same thing as you do and that are the same way you are. So if you're flustered and you're stressed out all the time, that's the type of clientele you're going to have. So if you're an agent on the other side right now listening and you've had some crazy deals, like with crazy clients, just maybe take a second to reflect on yourself, see what you got to do, because honestly that totally went away after I kind of like switched my mindset up because I did start off that way. And it's kind of like easy to start off that way because again, you'll take any deal possible, but I guarantee you once you kind of get going and you find that confidence and you're confident about who you are, you're going to attract that same clientele. What better way to do it than on social media? So Facebook is huge. LinkedIn is something that Gary Vee talks about a lot. I listen to all the Gary Vee, and putting content out there is starting to become very necessary. A lot of people on LinkedIn are very high-end professionals. It's unfortunate the amount of like DMs that I get because it's all spam. But you can pay for stuff like that. I don't pay for my LinkedIn, but again, it's still a platform for free that you can put your information on. Instagram is great. Facebook, what else? Podcasts. But overall, we interviewed also Jason Cassidy, who's like huge in social media for real estate. He's got close to, I think probably now he's past 15,000 followers on there. And he started organically. So we quoted him and he said, post something educational or something behind the scenes your first year. I encouraged my team to be out there on one of those two fronts early on. It's no secret. I copied a lot of Gary Vee when I first started. I started to Ask the Realtor Show, which is basically a ripoff of Ask the Gary Vee Show. And all I would do is be like, on this episode, we'll talk about what is an earnest money deposit, and then you educate people. So that's kind of like how he started. He was more so behind the scenes, which our generation likes the real truth. We like raw. We don't want it sugar coated. And that's kind of like what he did, and it worked out perfectly for him. I mean, he's just been growing and growing, and now his business is so big that he literally probably has people doing his own videos. So again, social media is everything. As you guys know, the more following you can get sponsors, and that could lead to other opportunities, but overall just business that's coming in from you. Paid ads will then get more business for you because you're already populated so much. So it's the little things like that, but the more content you put out, the better. Like Nanat said, just don't bombard them with the same stuff every time. Feel free to bombard them in general. I think you should, but not with the same stuff. So don't be like house. Like that's so boring. Nobody wants to follow that. I wouldn't even want to follow that. So make sure you're putting in way more personal things than real estate, and just constantly remind them like you're working. You're doing this, you're doing that, but here's my beer Friday night, like whatever, I'm human. So just be yourself, but be confident and post as much as you can. If you have kids, post your kids. If you have kids, like that's huge. Like take advantage of that. I cannot wait till I have a kid. I'm just totally gonna take advantage. Yep. I'm gonna make so much money off of them. You guys have no idea. But just be you. I always think of Instagram like a kind of like a diary, because you can like reflect back and you can see how much growth you've done over like the years. It's kind of cool to have like that collection of pictures just like in an app on your hand, literally. So that's kind of the whole spiel of this whole section. There's obviously a lot more information on here. We'd like for you guys to go through it. Great quotes by some great people. A Gary Vee video on here as well. And, some platforms that are doing a little bit more than others right now. TikTok is like a huge one that's coming out. So also just staying aware of like where social media is going within its own industry, because you want to always be the first one to jump on things. I have a friend right now who literally started TikTok a week ago and she's at 4,000 followers. She's been posting like 4 times a day, but it's just an easy platform right now to get the following because it's so new. So a lot of people aren't on it yet, but that's a lot of the people that were now they're millionaires on Instagram running sponsored ads and getting promotions and stuff. So just make sure that you're also on top of what the latest and greatest thing is. Again, it's a full-time job, but it's highly necessary, especially your first year. But once you kind of get the ball rolling, I'm sure you guys will have enough money to pay somebody else to do it. We're not there yet, but we will be soon. So